that bug in Safari, mobile Safari, and the shellcode is going to be this vibrating shellcode, and you'll see it. So you'll hear it, really. That's why I chose this one. So I'm getting ready to go to the malicious web page. And this uses the feng shui, like I explained to. Okay, let's see if it's going to work here. There's my microphone. It's loading. I wonder if my address. Oh, wait, wrong IP address, I think. This demo works much better at my house, where the IP address doesn't change. Okay, let's try this. Come on. Let me make sure that I know my own IP address. Oops, like I noticed, if you can read the screen, I actually found a bug. But being the responsible guy, I won't tell you what it is. 10021. I thought I tried that. Oh, 10021. Well, give me like one more minute to think about this, and then we'll just have to move on. It's a really cool demo, though. I'll be like at the party showing you guys. Let me see if the web browser works here. 10, 0, 2, 1. Let me try it one more time. 10. Is anyone on my, go to my wireless, Charlie Miller's computer? I can exploit you if you have a phone. An old phone that you never updated. Well, we'll try to come back to this, and it only takes a second to run. I'll try to figure it out in a little bit. It's really cool, though. The phone goes berserk. Well, now it won't be as cool that it lived up to it, but hopefully I'll figure it out before the end of the talk. Okay. So what else can you do? So that was an example of calling iPhone-specific functions. Let's see, what else can you do? So you can also just mess with those database files I talked about. So I already showed you that they form in this SQLite 3 format. So you can just change those database files, and then what the iPhone thinks is reality changes. So you can add SMS communications that never happened. You can delete those. You can add people to the contacts. You can change contact information. So maybe you change the person's grandma's phone number to your phone number. So next time you call them, they think it's their grandma. Okay, so I wrote the shellcode that adds a note to their iPhone. So how does it work? Well, first you need to figure out the layout of this database, SQLite 3. Notes.db. So I run the dump here, and you can see what the database looks like. So it's got one table called note that has a creation date, a title, and a summary, and another table called note bodies that has an ID and data. Looking at that first table, note, it's pretty obvious. It's just some number and then some text. Right? That's pretty straightforward. The only thing is this number, like it's supposed to be a time, but it's not your typical Unix time you would expect. It turns out if you do the math, it comes from back in January 1st, 2001, which is what NSDate, which is a Mac thing, is based on. So basically you can convert it by doing this 973 or 978307200 number. Okay, what about the other database? Well, it's just numbers that start from 1 and increase each time, and then the data is HTML. So here is C code that will add a note to the iPhone's database. So all it does is call SQLite 3 open on the database file, and then it execs those two SQLite commands. So first it figures out insert into note values the time minus that conversion number, and then some data. And then the other one is it figures out what the last node ID was, adds one to it, and then adds data. Here it is in assembly. Okay, so there's one more payload I want to talk about. It's pretty cool, although you might have to come up later to see it since I'm having some not so much luck here with the demo. But anyway, so far I've been hard coding in addresses of functions, and that's pretty weak. So you don't have to do that. You can actually take advantage of the fact that the DYLD library is loaded at the same spot every time. And it contains code that can find every other symbol. So you can just take advantage of that. So this is a C program that will take in, if you give it the base address of DYLD, it will, and a symbol you're looking for, it'll give you the address where that's loaded, even if it changes every time. And this is basically decompiled something that Dino has in his talk probably. But basically, it just takes advantage of the mock file format and figures out the symbol. So in this case, you can get rid of all that hard-coded addresses. And here is the assembly that does the same thing. I'm sure you can't read that, but again, this is supposed to be just for reference. If you want to take it. Okay, so the final payload is basically the equivalent of DLL injection for the iPhone. And so the idea is you write a bundle on Mac OS X, and then you inject it into the process space. Well, it turns out on the iPhone you can't really do it quite so slick. What I'm going to do is write it to disk and then call DL open on it. So it's not so cool because that ends up on disk, but who looks at their file system on their iPhone anyway? But in this, so you have the disadvantage that unless it's jailbroken, you're going to have to sign in on the fly, like I described earlier in the talk. All right, so basically all this thing does is it uses that Mako resolve function that I showed you before to find the address of DL open and DL sim. And then it just calls DL open and DL sim, and whatever code you want to run gets run. And let me see. Okay. So why would you even do this? Well, it's cool because instead of writing in assembly, which as you saw can get complicated, right? You can write in C or Objective-C or whatever you want. And you can make some pretty cool bundles this way. So if it works, I'll show you how to turn your iPhone into a covert listening device. Other things you can do is you can register to receive GPS updates so that whenever the person's moving around, it'll call out to you with where they're at, so you can track your victim that way. You can make or record phone calls and do anything the phone can do. So, okay, let me show you this demo if it works. It has a better chance of working. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to SSH into the phone here. Oh, no wonder. Let me see. Okay, here, let me make this bigger for you. Maybe you read it now almost. See, if I get this demo to work, I bet I can get the old one to work too because I didn't have the right IP address. I still don't know if I have the right IP address. Let me try to cancel out of this real quick. Okay, let's try this. Come on. Okay, well, live demos are not great. Anyway, so it's not working. That sucks. But let me try one last thing, and then I'll just let you go. I swear it works. You just have to trust me. I can show you what happens from the last time I did it, but pretty lame. Okay. Well, anyway, the network is like screwed up. So anyway, what happens is, so I have this bundle. Maybe I have it here. I'll show it to you. And what it does is it turns on the microphone for 2 seconds and records it, and then saves it to a file. So the last time I ran it is, I'll show you what happens. So this is like, you could pretend that the demo worked, and then I got the file off the phone. This is what it's like. So yeah, so catch up to me later, and I'll show you the demo when there's not like people watching me, and I choke under pressure. Let's see. So you get this like file. It's a .caf. I don't know what that is, but it's just a sound file. And then
Here I am in Malaysia.
So that was me testing it this morning. I swear it worked. Anyway, that's it. Sorry, like the demos all failed except the one you couldn't really see. So that's it. Questions? Besides, like, am I a total liar and stuff? But no, I swear it works. Catch up to me later. I'll show it to you. It's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Charlie. And you will be around even at the